What's going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Ty, the LEGO guy here, and today we're taking a look at another LEGO Star Wars set. It's the first standard TIE Fighter LEGO ever made. That's set 7146. It had 2 minifigs, 171 pieces, retailed for 20 US, and it came out all the way back in 2001. Now nowadays this set's going for 118 new or 40 used, so it's appreciated quite a bit. This one's actually quite interesting. I love taking a look at these old school Star Wars LEGO sets and where the theme sort of began. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And to start us off, we'll begin by giving you guys a 360 view of the TIE on the stand. And this is actually the only standard TIE Fighter I know of that actually includes a stand. So I thought that was kind of cool. The other thing you'll notice about it too is it has a fuel hose, which I thought was pretty realistic because I mean these TIE Fighters have to be fueled up, and this is kind of what it lands on. So I kind of appreciated that, just the logic behind it, I guess. And just so you know the dimensions of this TIE Fighter, it's probably about 7 or 8 inches tall and about 5 or 6 inches wide. Anyways, let's now break it down area by area. And one of the first things you'll probably notice about this TIE is this awesome looking cockpit piece. It started with the 1999 Darth Vader's TIE Advanced, and they just kind of kept it throughout. So, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and that's kind of what they did with this. I mean, this piece I think was around for 6 or 7 years. And then on the top here, it has another printed piece. Now there's no stickers in this set, and that actually looks quite good as well. Opening it up though, show you guys the cockpit, the interior of it, and there's the TIE pilot. Decent looking little interior, definitely kind of a little bit lackluster by today's standards, but it gets the job done. It was a simpler time back in 2001. You'll also notice they have this 1x2 console. Now this printed piece was probably used on half the spaceships, half the vehicles in Star Wars back in the late 90s to early 2000s, and I thought it was interesting. They used it again here, and you can very easily close it back up just by lowering that door. Bang, it's done. Moving to the side of the TIE, you'll notice it has this interesting looking blue detailing to kind of make it represent the way it looks like in the movies, and I think blue wasn't a terrible idea. If you look at some of the shots in the, at TIE Fighters from the movies, they do kind of look sand blue, so I can see why LEGO back in the day made them blue instead of light gray. And you also notice it has the Imperial logo. Flipping it around to the back, it has a nice looking engine with 2 red, basically lights flanking it, which looks decent. Again, this TIE Fighter is definitely not perfect, but it's adequate. You can tell what it is, and it was very cheap to amass a fleet of these. Anyways, that pretty well does the ship. Let's now take a look at the minifigs. And here we have the 2 minifigs that are included in this TIE Fighter. So believe it or not, this was one of the first sets that included the TIE pilot along with the Stormtrooper. This is the old school Stormtrooper. And the very first time they ever made a TIE pilot, I do believe, came out in this set. And I think that overall, he's pretty decent looking. Like, he looks quite similar to what we have nowadays. Yeah, we have more printed, more printing on him and whatnot, but all in all, the basic look of him has stayed the same. So it really shows how ahead of their time they were. I do love the fact it also has 2 Imperial logos on his helmet. It's very accurate, and we'll just remove their helmets to reveal a brown and yellow head. So they kept it really simple. They didn't even give him any face printing. There was no angry clone faces, none of that, which I don't actually mind. Anyways, those are the figs. Let's now get into the end of the review and get my final thoughts. Well guys, that was my review. Do hope you enjoyed it. Honestly, this set was pretty decent for 2001. It's not perfect by any means. It's definitely dated, but I think that it does an adequate job at representing a TIE Fighter. It's not perfect, it's clumpy, it has those black and blue colors, which actually is not completely inaccurate. Like if you look at the movies, TIE Fighters a lot of times look like they're sand blue and black. So I can understand why they kind of went with blue and black, especially back in the day. I do like the fact that this set also has a stand, and for 20 bucks to get a TIE Fighter, you could very easily amass a fleet of these guys. I mean, even accounting for inflation, that's a great deal. Like that would be probably about 30 bucks nowadays, and you could just like mass a ton of these. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this one, if you like it, if you don't, areas you think they can maybe improve on it. There are a lot, but yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this one. I just think for what it is, and it being their first attempt at a TIE fighter, I think it looks pretty decent. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. But if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future LEGO Star Wars reviews, comparisons that we do. We do one basically every Tuesday, and they're a lot of fun, especially when you journey back to the beginning of LEGO Star Wars and see where it all started. It's interesting to see where it was then and what it's become now. But yeah, that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.